Off and running. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Score Cleveland. I'm going to blame the bad weather and the cold weather. It's probably slowed down the electrons for bringing this to you. My apologies for getting underway just a minute or two late. I'm going to do a brief presentation for this session. I'm going to do a brief presentation for this session on SCORE, and then our presenter, John Koff, will take over. I'll be in the background, keeping an eye on the chat. Welcome, John. We're happy to have you here on a cold, snowy day. Let me just share my screen briefly. I'll be done in about a minute, but this is the little bit of an introduction to SCORE. All right, this is all about SCORE. And basically, I am just going to talk with you a little bit about it and tell you who we are if you haven't seen us before. SCORE's mission is to foster vibrant small business communities through mentoring and education. We aim to give every person the support they need to thrive as a small business owner. Small businesses drive our national economy through business formation, job creation, and wealth building. Small businesses are critical to vibrant communities in our society. SCORE volunteers give freely of their time, energy, and knowledge to others. All SCORE services are free, including this webinar. You will never be charged a fee for working with a SCORE mentor or attending one of our webinars. SCORE has the largest network of free volunteers in the nation. There are over 10,000 people who are members of SCORE, who are mentors. There are almost 100 of them here in the Cleveland area, and we cover all different kinds of businesses. You can request a SCORE mentor by going to score.org and clicking on the link Request a Mentor. Don't just put down SCORE or you'll get Cleveland Guardian statistics or perish the thought Cleveland Browns numbers. This is our website. And when you see this, you'll know you're in the right place. Our services are free. We receive a small amount of money from the Small Business Administration, and we value our collaboration with the federal government. I want to thank our sponsors, Cleveland Neighborhood Progress, Truax Law, Grow Capital, PNC Bank, Key Bank, Community Foundation of Lorain County, and Comstar and Wells Fargo. If you would like to go to the SCORE website or capture our website URL for the future, if you have a cell phone handy, if you're not watching this on your cell phone, just point it at this QR code and capture the URL and bookmark it and come back to it later. This completes our session here. And now I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to turn this over to John, who will take you away.
Great. Thank you, Dan. It's a pleasure to be with you guys this morning. I apologize. We started a few minutes late. Yeah, it's a little cold here in Cleveland. I think I'm seeing about, let's see here. 19 degrees. So yeah, we'll try and warm things up with some good information about making your business bankable. If you can bear with me just one moment, I will try and share my screen here. Okay, I think we have our presentation going here. So we're going to talk a little bit about making your business bankable. A little bit about growth capital, a little bit of background. Okay, Growth Capital is a private, not-for-profit economic development lender. We've been the number one SBA 504 and SBA Community Advantage lender in Ohio for a number of years. We had a record year in 2022, not so much in 2023. 23 was a very difficult year for a lot of businesses, as it was a challenging year for growth capital as well. SBA's got a sort of a different look over the last number of years. Okay. Prior to 2020, many businesses, especially larger businesses, had no experience with small business administration lending. However, that sort of changed in the response to the COVID pandemic in 2020, 2021, where many businesses utilized the services of SBA lenders for PPP loans. There were many businesses that took advantage of SBA's economic injury and disaster loans, EIDL loans. So many more businesses today are familiar with SBA, whereas maybe 10 years ago they were not. Not every bank, yes, not every bank is an SBA lender, and not every borrower is an SBA borrower. But SBA loans can certainly assist a company in becoming bankable. Okay. A standard commercial loan that a bank will make to a small business can be a risky loan. Banks many times look to mitigate that risk. And one of the ways to do that is with an SBA guaranteed loan. Okay. And many businesses are not going to grow out of that SBA loan, and that's fine. Small businesses are going to remain small. They're going to remain higher risk to lenders. So many times businesses will remain SBA borrowers throughout the life cycle of that business. Others will grow, graduate, move on to standard commercial lending, and that's what we're going to talk about here today. A little bit about helping to make your business bankable and how SBA financing in particular can help you do that. Okay. We're going to move to the next screen here. Is my screen being shared? This is I have here that it is. Okay, great. Okay. Yeah, it's not your grandmother's SBA anymore. Okay. It's not a lender of last resort. It's not a government loan. Okay. Although EIDL loans are technically directly from SBA, almost all other loans are going to be guaranteed by SBA and made by a lender. So, a little bit about the SBA Community Advantage Program. This program is really designed to help a bank help a business become bankable. Okay, it's what I like to term the just miss bank loan. Okay, as I stated just a few minutes ago, SBA loans are not the lender of last resort. Okay, these are loans that I best describe as just miss bank loans, loans that just fall below a bank's SBA credit standards. That SBA Community Advantage can provide financing where a bank cannot. So we're going to talk about some of the details of the SBA Community Advantage. I have a big update. Currently, the loan size was $25,000 to $350,000. SBA just increased that maximum size to $500,000. So $500,000 in SBA Community Advantage financing is available to small businesses. The interest rates are prime +4, prime +4.5, or prime +6. These are not incentive programs that SBA provides, like our SBA 504 program, but an access to capital program. So the rates and fees are a little bit higher than a bank rate and fee would be, and really designed to help again make that business bankable and back to a bank ultimately for that loan. Technical assistance is also provided through the Community Advantage program. So what can it be used for? It's any for-profit business, okay? Manufacturing, distribution, wholesale, any type of service business as well, okay? And the use of funds are any legitimate business purpose. Owner-occupied commercial real estate, while we don't do many community advantage loans for owner-occupied commercial real estate, we do from time to time. Equipment is also a big use, as is working capital financing. Many times a business may have a line of credit that is at its limit. There's no more additional borrowing base for that company to have a line of credit extended further. So many times our SBA Community Advantage loan can pay down lines of credit to make that working capital available to the borrower through their line of credit, and taking that balance and turning it out through our SBA Community Advantage. Also, debt refinance is big. We've seen many companies, especially in very early stages, in their early growth stages, will utilize online lenders, the payday lenders that have very high APRs, approaching and exceeding 100%, with daily payments, weekly payments. These are predatory small business loans, and many times we're able to take a community advantage loan and refinance one of these online payday small business lenders. And also small business acquisitions. We're able to utilize our SBA Community Advantage program when there is a small business acquisition, when that business is changing hands for less than $500,000, and there are so many small businesses out there that are generating, $1 million worth of revenue, $2 million worth of revenue, and their sale prices are under $500,000. And many times banks aren't willing or able to finance those types of transactions. Our Community Advantage program is excellent for business acquisitions. I had mentioned the Just Miss bank loan. Okay, here's what makes it a Just Miss bank loan. Okay, it's not yet bankable. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, sometimes it's a low personal credit score, FICO score. A low FICO score is gonna cause a bank to deny that credit. Okay, limited personal liquidity, limited personal net worth. If it's a sole proprietorship with no other legal filing. When there are limited business revenue numbers, right? So many small businesses, unfortunately, don't keep strong enough financial records, detailed enough financial records, right? So income statements and balance sheets are so important to have good, solid numbers that a lender can underwrite that loan with. Many times it's tight cash flow coverage, right? A company is growing. They may have some other debts, and cash flow coverage can be tight. And then this is always one of the biggest ones is limited collateral. The business requesting the loan just does not have sufficient collateral to secure the loan. So these are a lot of the reasons, okay, that many small businesses will not yet be bankable. Okay. So how can the SBA Community Advantage loan help that business become bankable? Well, here we're going to look at a few different things. Okay. We're going to look at lower personal credit scores that are acceptable. Okay. There are no SBA has no cutoff for a FICO score, so it's not like if it's below 680, can't get the loan approved. There's no hard and fast cutoff, but it certainly does impact the overall credit underwriting. One thing that we cannot do with our SBA Community Advantage loans is make loans to individuals who have previously filed bankruptcy. So can't help there. Personal liquidity is sufficient for living expenses and working capital. Okay. We can't make a loan to someone whose business is tight and who personally has too much personal debt, too tight on living expenses. Okay. And then obviously, we require no personal net worth, but we will look at global cash flow. Okay. So that just missed bank loan. Okay, here's the problem. Sometimes, okay, businesses and their owners are a little bit more closely enmeshed financially than a small business underwriting process will uncover. Okay. So what we're able to look at, okay, is both the business income and the personal resources of the owner. So we look at a global cash flow. So sometimes that means there's outside income that we're able to count toward a global cash flow, or there may be spousal income. Okay. We're able to look at that global cash flow coverage as opposed to just the business cash flow coverage. Um, just because there's a negative net worth in the business doesn't mean that we can't do one. We just approved a $400,000 SBA Community Advantage loan yesterday. The company was a pretty extensive growth mode, doubling revenues over the last 3 years, looking to increase revenues again this year with the acquisition of new equipment for some new business opportunities. And they were leveraged. The company had negative net worth, and we were still able to get that loan approved based on the strong cash flow of the business. Okay. Our collateral coverage is not required to be 100%. Okay. So we're going to take collateral as is required by SBA regulations to the extent that they are available. It does not have to be fully 100% collateralized. We can do some startups, okay, but in a very narrow bandwidth here. We can do startups when there's outside income, okay, not just the cash flow of the startup business. Okay, so if there's outside income, spousal income, a job that continues to be worked while the business is ramped up, okay, we can look at that global cash flow. Okay, and as long as the individual has industry experience, specific industry experience, then many times we're able to do those startups. The old adage is, I like to eat, therefore I can own a restaurant. That's not necessarily the case. So we look for those things to be able to fund a pure startup. So what exactly are we looking for here? Okay. And what is it that the borrower ultimately can allow the SBA Community Advantage loan, okay, to help them become bankable. Okay, so here's a few things. The borrower builds a solid credit history with timely payments. Okay, that's so critical. I tell my children, and I have 6 of them, as they embark on their lives, that build a good credit history. Do that from a young age, and it can make the borrowing not only easier but cheaper with good credit history. If you don't have one, there are ways to clean it up. Okay, there are ways to improve your credit history, and that's most importantly done with timely payments on all outstanding obligations currently. Okay, so it makes it easy because all payments are required via ACH. So they're all automatic payments. All of the Community Advantage loans are on 10-year terms and fully amortizing. So that gives you a much lower payment. A standard commercial bank loan for $100,000 for working capital would have a term of no more than 3 years. An equipment loan would have a term of no more than 5 years. So what that does is it makes the payment the amortization is much shorter, the payment is much higher. So with our SBA Community Advantage, we can do that over a 10-year term, okay, and allow that payment to be much more manageable for the small business when they are in that growth mode, especially, or in that early stage. We can offer deferments from time to time when they are appropriate. We connect borrowers to TA sources such as SCORE and our friends at the Small Business Development Centers. There are no prepayment penalties on the loan, so it can be retired at any time, either through payoff or refinance. Okay. The SBA Community Advantage Loan does carry a higher rate of interest. Okay, so it does encourage the borrower to refinance with the bank when they are able. Okay, so if our Community Advantage Loan has a rate of prime +6, and that's been making timely payments for a year, and the business is solid, going back to your original bank and saying, look, hey, let's refinance this at prime +6, and the bank can do it at prime +3, then that's certainly the best deal for the borrower. And we like to get repaid on these things too. Okay. We'll certainly work to refinance those. So there's a lot of different types of businesses that we're able to finance with our Community Advantage Loan. Here's a couple of examples. A small bakery called Fruity Cakes. It was a small woman-owned business. Yes, we do restaurants, and we can do those higher risk types of businesses. Again, restaurant businesses considered high risk. Service companies, Extreme Marketing. We provided just a working capital for the business to expand its current offerings. And we did Great Clips franchises. We can do franchises. We've done some Dunkin' Donuts, and we've done sub shops, and any kind of franchise that you can think of, we're able to finance with our Community Advantage as well. Sort of give you a big overview, okay, of SBA Community Advantage as a way to help your business become bankable. Okay. I see there are some questions in the chat here. I'm going to try and take some of these through as they come. I see a question regarding bankruptcies. No bankruptcies ever, or within a certain period of time. Some lenders are able to provide lending to individuals who have previously filed bankruptcy. They may have time frames on which to do that. Many of the online lenders, especially those lenders who have tried their best to automate the underwriting and approval process, right? And there's a certain science to it. It works to a certain degree. But yeah, they may have cutoffs of 10 years for the bankruptcy, 5 years for bankruptcy filing. Unfortunately, if we have an applicant that has previously filed bankruptcy, we're unable to approve new financing. Okay, do I have an opportunity to choose my own lender? It's a question here. Yes. Okay, so SBA has a nice tool. It's called SBA Lender Match, and you can just do a web search for SBA Lender Match. Okay, and what Lender Match will allow you to do is very simply and securely online enter a few bits of information about your business and about the financing that you're looking for. That lender match notification goes out to a bevy of lenders, SBA lenders in the local market. Each one of those lenders has an opportunity to review your inquiry and determine whether they're interested in receiving an actual application. And The small business owner can choose from the listing of SBA lenders that have chosen their lender match. So yes, there is lender match is an excellent way to find out and get connected with SBA lenders in your local market. Let's see here. Okay, I see a question here about non for profits. SBA lending is very limited when it comes to nonprofit corporations. One that they're able to provide nonprofit funding for is daycares, and that's about it. If it's a not for profit organization, they are normally not eligible for SBA financing. Senior center for profit. Oh yeah, we do those. We love doing those. We've done small ones where it's more of an adult day service business, and we've done full blown residential care facilities. So yes, those are certainly SBA eligible. Creative design houses, yes, any type of service business. We just approved yesterday $175,000 loan for a financial services company that provides financial consulting services to other commercial lenders. So yeah, there's as long as it's not a not-for-profit, and as long as it's not a business engaged in some illegal activity, okay, we can do it. Okay. Some other legal businesses that we can't finance any cannabis related industry, any cannabis related business, unfortunately, are not currently eligible for SBA financing. Any business from a purely, as SBA describes it, sexually purient business, those are not eligible. But other than that, if it's legal and it makes money, we can look to do it. Okay. Other questions here. Medical professionals, yes. We likewise are able to. We just did a couple of DOs. They are. It's a small practice, 3 holistic medical practitioners, all physicians, a small practice, maybe not even $1 million in revenue between the 3 physicians. We just did a small loan, about $300,000. So yes, attorneys offices, CPA offices. We've done community advantage loans for every type of service business. Transportation, yes. We finance rolling stock with our community advantage loan. Any type of transportation vehicles, logistics. So the big 16-wheelers, right, or the 18-wheelers. I quit counting. But yeah, a lot of transportation businesses, and we may see more of them in the next 12 to 18 months as economic activities seem to be picking up a bit. Education center, drivers school, yeah. Oh, well, we did a big loan a lot of years ago for a truck driving school. Looking a loan right now for a barber school. So yes, coffee house, live music. I love those. Okay. Those are going to be a higher risk industry, right? So yeah, you're probably looking at alternative financing. Just as an aside, as you consider financing your business, right? There's 2 ways to go about it. There's only one of 2 ways. Okay, either through debt, okay, or through equity. All right. We've talked all about the debt. Okay, bank financing, right? Alternative financing like SBA Community Advantage. But equity is where it starts. Okay, so that's your own savings. That's your own bootstrap. That's what I like to also call the three F's: family, friends, and fools who are interested in investing in your company. So, what about a buyout that fund makes? Yes, yes, yes. Partner buyouts are eligible SBA Community Advantage loans. Did one of those deals last year where two partners were buying out the third remaining partner, and there were just going to be two partners left. So yes. Food trucks, yes. Food trucks have been popular over the last number of years. It is another higher risk industry with a very low entry to or barriers to entry for that market, right? So it's all about being good and being really good and being in the right places at all the right times. Wine shops, yes. Actually, one of our very first community advantage loans was to a wine shop in where was it? On the east side of Cleveland. It was actually a woman-owned business. We made two community advantage loans to them, and ultimately they paid us off. I went back to their bank, and that wine shop was a perfect example of community advantage loans helping that business become bankable. Okay. Let's see. Any other questions? SBA offers lending. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't see too many more questions here. I see F. Yeah, family, friends, fools. Okay. Those are equity partners. Okay. After you've exhausted all of your own funds and still need equity to fund your business, that's when you go to the triple F's of family, friends, and fools. Okay. I don't know. Dan, is there anything else? Agritech businesses. Yes. Yes, we actually did a very interesting loan to a hydroponic lettuce producer. Okay. And actually, it was about a year after we did the loan, they were offered millions and millions of dollars above market value for their operation from the cannabis industry, someone in the cannabis, and they turned it down. They're making more money selling hydroponically grown lettuce than they would selling out to the cannabis industry. Landscaping, yes, landscaping businesses, we do a lot of those. Okay. What we can't do is any type of real estate investment lending, right? So if you're looking to buy a house, flip it, can't help. Can't provide funds for renovations, can't provide funds for purchase. We cannot provide any SBA financing for investment real estate. Okay. Okay, here's a good question. Okay. A startup business, would you say an SBA community advantage loan is better than a traditional bank loan starting off? It could be, in that most of the banks, even with that SBA guarantee, are going to look at that loan as a bank looks at a loan. Okay. They have certain regulatory requirements, they have certain underwriting and credit risk requirements, and they have certain profitability requirements that most likely they would not look at a global cash flow coverage. Okay. They just may look at that and say, no, it can't help you. Or if it's small enough, they may credit score the deal, right? And say, oh yeah, okay, yeah, we'll give you $50,000 for your startup. You have an 830 FICO score. They'll take that risk. Okay. What they may not provide is technical assistance support. Okay, so as you make application with a community advantage lender, they can connect you with a source for technical assistance. It's going to help you develop or refine your business plan, and that will help you again get you to that place where you're going to be bankable. Chapter 13 is a bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is, again, unfortunately, something that we can't, other lenders can, but growth capital cannot. I've never done an EV charging station. I don't know. I guess there's demand. There don't seem to be a lot of them out there. So if they're in the right spot, that could be something. But yeah, that would certainly be an eligible business. And popcorn, yeah, those are the types of niche businesses that many bank lenders just aren't really interested in even considering. So yeah, many times SBA Community Advantage is the way to go. Candles, yep. Self-storage, yes. Self-storage units are it's a unique business, right? It's almost a rental business, but it's not. It's an operating business, and that's why it's eligible for SBA financing. Do student loans affect your chances of getting a loan? Only in how they affect your overall credit history. Okay. Did a loan just last week, and the individual was co-signed on over $300,000 worth of student loans for their daughter, who is a physician. Okay, so that it certainly impacts his credit score, having that much credit outstanding. Okay, but it does affect the overall credit score. If you're delinquent on any government guaranteed loan, that's a student loan, that's an FHA mortgage, it's a VA mortgage. Okay, if an applicant is delinquent on any other federally guaranteed debt, then they are not eligible for new SBA financing. Arms, weapons, ammo business. Yes, we just did a big deal for Great Lakes. Forgetting the name. It's a gun club up in Sandusky. So not only do they sell firearms, but they also have a gun range. So yes, physical therapy. Yes. And that's a business that I can vouch for because I had back issues last year, and physical therapy kept me out of the surgery room, kept me off the surgeon's table. So physical therapy, yes, I would finance that in a heartbeat because it's keeping me out of the hospital. Yeah, storage condo. Okay, so here's the deal with any type of business like that. SBA looks at any rental must be short term. Okay, so hotels are short term rentals. We can do those, right? Same thing with assisted living centers, right? These are short term rentals. We can do campgrounds, right? When they're short-term rentals. Same thing with any storage business. It has to be a short-term rental. Yeah. So that yep. Moving companies, yes. Pickleball facility, never did one. Okay, but I can tell you that we have financed indoor tennis facilities, indoor racket facilities. So those are very much SBA eligible. Yes, we do lend to franchises. Okay. Wow, the success rate of businesses that we loan to gets about 90-some%. The exact figure I don't know, but it's over 90. Okay, if the student loan was forgiven, great. Have documentation of that. Okay, here's what may happen. Okay, any student loan forgiveness that is going to impact your personal debt service, which is good, right? Um, it may not be properly reported on a credit report. So if I have a credit report that shows you have a loan outstanding, okay, and it's been that balance has been forgiven, make sure you have documentation of that, okay, and be prepared to provide that documentation to your lender, okay. Uh, okay, you said inventions are currently being manufactured. Okay, so over the last few years, we've been able to make some loans to um, what are termed pre-revenue businesses. Okay, so these are small companies that have had significant investment and significant expenditure and research and development. Okay, to bring a product to market. Um, and we've been able to make loans to those types of companies that are pre-revenue based upon their projected cash flow and based upon their global debt service coverage. Okay. So yes, it's sort of like a startup, okay, in that there's no revenue yet, but done the right way, we can do them. Okay. Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions at this point. I hope that the information was good. Dan, can you take over from here and bring us
Sure.
home?
Uh, John, thank you very much for a great presentation. I'm sure everyone's looking forward to getting the slides and the link to the recorded presentation. That will be sent out in about a week's time. We have a contractor who takes the recording, puts it on our website, and then our admin sends it out to everyone who attended. So you will get that information. John, do you want to give out your contact information so people can follow up if they're interested in using your services?
Yes, they can catch us at growthcapitalcorp.com. Okay. And we have an online application portal right there. So you can apply right online, real easy. Or you can contact me at jkropf at growthcapitalcorp.com.
I'm going to put those in the chat here, just so
Please do.
we can have that. So here
Great.
we go.
Thank you.
Okay, wait a minute, that was supposed to go. It didn't go. Hang on, try one more time. There we go. There we go. We've got all kinds of things going on here. There we go. Let's put this in here. And there you go. It's in the chat. All right,
Thank
so
you, Dan.
John's email address and his website are there. And feel free to reach out to him with your questions or your interest in SBA loans and the services that his organization provides. Again, John, thank you very much for giving your time. We're going to close out the webinar now. I'll give you one more minute to copy that email address and website, and then I'm going to close this as well. So again, thank you all for being with us today at SCORE. With this, I'm closing the webinar. Everybody stay warm. Take care now.